Hello, what I want to show you now is how easy it is to produce a fully functional reporting interface for a user. And to do that I'm going to use a data group which already exists in your subscription. It's called BR-log, and it holds information about database activity, JavaScript errors and the like. And what I want to be able to do is to show the user the information contained in that data group, and also to allow them to restrict the information they see coming back. So to that end I've already produced a container, a page, which has the functionality on it that I want, and I'm just going to talk you through the main highlights of it. I'm not going to show you necessarily how to use the designer. That's covered elsewhere in these help videos. I've got at the top here a label, and if we look at the properties in particular, there's the tip that will appear when the user rolls their mouse over the top of the label. I've got here a standard drop down which I've called report type, and the SQL that it uses to generate the contents of the drop down is this, and if I test it then we'll see it comes back with an all option, because I want the user to be able to select all types of report and then the individual types that we've got within the system. And you can see how I've structured this. So this is the bit which actually gives us the data. Note the use of distinct, so that I only get one of each type from the data group back, and then I add a sequence number to make sure that when I do the union on these two SQL queries, the select queries, I get the all option at the top of the list. That's the way I do this. It's not the only way you can achieve the same sort of functionality, but you'll see this as a common way of doing it throughout the system. Let me close that down. And I've got an on-change event for the drop down, so when the user selects something else, it's going to refresh the output, in this case a report called log report, and I'm going to show you that one next. So here's the report. Let me just move this out of the way a little bit and down perhaps so you can have a better look. And the SQL that the report is based on is a variant of the SQL that you've just seen. It's looking at more columns from the BR-log data group, and I've combined a couple of fields to give me a user column. The summary is essentially a brief description of what the report is about. The date stamp gives me the time and date on which the record was recorded. The execution time is the server-side execution time, at least in terms of database activity. Type is what we saw in the drop-down list. ID is there just for completeness. Every data group has a unique identifier field called ID. And the description is the detail of what's going on there. And I've added in this where clause, which looks for the value we pick up from the drop-down list, report type there. If it's set to 0, which is the all option, then we don't do any filtering. Otherwise, if it's not 0, essentially someone has specified a particular type, then I say that the type has to equal the value that was returned by that drop-down list. And I can test this using the parameters down here to substitute a value in here. So if I do the test now, that will bring back a whole sequence of data from the database. So I can close that because I've already saved it. I don't have to save it again. I'm showing 5 columns, and here they are. I'm not doing anything fancy with the columns. I'm not changing the colours or anything at this stage. We'll come back in a subsequent video to show you how to customize this much more. So there's nothing in particular on here apart from on the summary. The rollover here is going to be the description field from the record. Date and time are right justified effectively, and the type there. So that's already been saved. If I go over to the operational system, here's the completed container in place, and I can choose from here all. You can see how many records that it's brought back. There's the rollover of the description over the top of the summary field. There's the rollover on the label, and if I just choose that, you can see that the table refreshes automatically because we put the onChange event in the drop-down list, and there is only one record corresponding to a tuning request, and it's this, and we can look to see what it's saying. So very quickly, that's how you would produce a simple reporting interface, but actually, although I say it's simple, it's quite complex in what it achieves, and certainly very functional.